Today we're looking at a brand new H. Moser & Company Pioneer flying hours in steel with a White Fumé dial. Now this is Moser taking one of their more playful complications, the flying hours, and putting it into their most wearable everyday case, the Pioneer. Let me tell you, this dial is unlike anything else Moser has done to date. So the Pioneer has always been Moser's daily watch, if you will. So it has 120 meters of water resistance, screwed down crown here, and a rugged steel case that you don't need to baby. But until now, if you exclude, let's say, the more exotic tourbillon models, it's usually been about classic three-hand displays. Now the flying hours complication changes that entirely. Suddenly you are wearing a technical showcase that still surprisingly feels ready for daily wear. Now the case here is 42.8 millimeters across in stainless steel and just over 14 millimeters thick. Thin it is not. Now that might sound large on paper, but the short lugs and curved flanks keep it balanced on the wrist. Now you've got polished bevels running the length of the case, you've got that typical almost sculptural feel to the Pioneer case, brushed surfaces to keep it sporty, and a sapphire case back to show off the movement. This is the Pioneer case that we know and love. It's tough, refined, and distinctly Pioneer, distinctly Moser. Now, where the magic really happens, of course, is the dial. And honestly, this is where I really immediately was smitten by this watch. So Moser's White Fumé treatment is already quite striking, but here essentially Moser and Fumé dials, nothing quite new. However, with the flying hour disc effect here and that White Fumé dial and then that minute track floating above the base dial, it's a little bit... I don't know how to put it. It feels almost otherworldly. It's almost as if the dial is sitting right against the crystal. So it gives the watch this unique effect in a way, and I'm going to say similar, but certainly not identical, similar to the effect of what you would see in an oil-filled Renaissance Type 3 watch, for example. So where the dial really sits all the way up against the crystal. Here, that is, of course, less pronounced, but it is this illusion of closeness which makes it incredibly engaging on the wrist. Now anyway, before we continue, so how does flying hours actually work? So instead of a hand pointing at numbers, you guessed it, the hours are printed on 3 rotating discs here, each rotating on their own axis, arranged in orbit around the central minute disc. Think of them as satellites orbiting the center here. Only one is visible at a time through the aperture on the dial there, showing you the current hour. Now, as the minutes disc completes its rotation, the hour disc snaps instantly to the next number. It's a different philosophy of telling time, more orbital, more architectural, more dramatic. Now briefly about the 120-degree arc there. So most jump hour watches keep a full 360-degree minute track. So a round hand that points to the minutes all the way around the dial. Very typical and classical, if you will. Now Moser chooses something different. So the minutes are shown on a central disc that sweeps only across a 120-degree arc. So practically that means this, that the minutes are concentrated where your eye would naturally look. So near the hour aperture, the aperture which actually shows the current hour. That then reduces clutter and creates a lot of what is called a negative space elsewhere on the dial. Aesthetically, it's brilliant, but functionally, it is logical as well. So once you understand the arc mapping, reading minutes and hours becomes quick and intuitive. They are always right there near the hour marker where you are supposed to look. Now inside is Moser's HMC 240 automatic caliber, so it beats at a super relaxed 21,600 vibrations per hour, and as a result also has a very nice 72-hour power reserve. It's fitted with Moser's own Straumann hairspring with a flat overcoil. So an overcoil is a hairspring where the last coil is bent upward and outward, allowing the spring to expand and contract more symmetrically. The classic is the Breguet overcoil, which lifts that outer curve up and over the rest of the spiral. Now here, by using their own alloy and shaping it with a flat overcoil, Moser gets better accuracy across positions, more or better timekeeping regardless of power reserve level, and of course full independence from external suppliers. Very rare indeed. On the wrists, this watch is, well, a revelation. So the dial is really clean and appears so close to the crystal that it feels like you're peering into another dimension. Only thing I did notice is that when the hour sits in the bottom left aperture there, it can get hidden by your shirt cuff. Not a big deal, but I figured it is worth mentioning. For me, this is one of the more engaging Mosers to date. It's a conversation starter for sure. It's a design statement, and it's still a watch you could wear every single day if you wanted to. And honestly, that dial alone, absolutely mesmerizing. Thank you very much, and see you next time.